Oh shit, wait. Okay. Okay. So I hope Vantage didn't mess with it, did it? No, I think we're gonna be okay. Alright, my chat is, looks like it's working. Let me just check. Check. It worked. Alright. Whoa, wait, whoa. Almost messed up my whole thing. Let's add in a chat window. Chat capture properties. That one? No. That one? No. What? Why isn't it showing up? Okay, hold on. Is this as a window? That's why? Alright, hold on. I don't think that one is actually connected to my chat. Give me just a second, chat. I apologize. There we go. Pause. Wait, oh, no, I have the sound turned off. Let me just make sure. Okay. I'm just doing a sound check. I'm doing something a little bit different. Oh, wait, am I not? No, it seems like... Wait, what happened? Oh, no, my sound's coming in okay. All right. So now I gotta pop it out. Pop out chat. Oh, it did show up. Okay. All right. And then... Give me just a second. Okay. Properties. Oh, chat. Okay. All right. One day I gotta figure out how I actually make this background transparent. Apparently there is some kind of way to do that. Uh-oh. You're not? Okay. Give me just a second. I'm busy talking to myself here. All right. Okay. I think we got it. Wait, no. Now this chat's gotten too big. There we go. Okay, lovely. Okay. I wonder if anything will still show up. Oh wow, that's huge. Who are you yelling at all this time? Who are you yelling at? What's so bad? What? Really? I'm sorry, bud. Oh, hey, Ann, what's up? Hi, everyone. Nope, not everyone. It's just you and me, Ann. I don't... Well, wait, what is this guy? What? Alright. What's up, 3D Cal? Alright, give me just a second here, guys.
Okay.
Hey, are you guys getting double sound on everything? Oh, it's really low. Oh. Sorry. Okay. I see what the problem is. Okay. Oh. This is where I always mess up. Hold on. Oh, that's why I'm getting double sound, because I I just realized what's going on. It's playing through my Steam Deck and being picked up by the mic. I've got this. I'm playing the game through this, so I think it's being picked up. If I turn the game down here, it turns it down on stream too. All right, it's probably loud enough. All right, what is this guy? Chromatic clear obscure. Okay. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this guy. This guy looks like he's... Alright. That chick on the left looks like she's holding a cell phone during this battle. Yeah, that's her power, dude. She can... she actually makes a phone call and she summons Steve Jobs. She's a necromancer. It's pretty dark. The game gets pretty dark pretty fast, man. Yeah, that's what she does. Let's see here. No, it's actually a set of cards. I guess if I were to compare, it's kind of like Gambit, like a female version of Gambit. How have I been? I've been good, man. I've been good. I mean, it's been. Hold on, let me turn this music down. It's like, it's always like a problem. So I run into this problem where I do my Japanese lessons is usually the last thing I do before I get back on my computer to stream, right? Of course, I got the volume like maxed out so that I can hear everything the person is saying. And I go on later and I turn on a game and I'm like, damn, why is this game so loud? And I keep turning the game down inside the game. But what I don't realize is actually like there's another volume controller here, and I forget that you've got to turn it down here. Turning it down on the game doesn't affect that. On top of it, if I turn it down here or I turn it down on the game, it still doesn't change on OBS. I've got to go to OBS and go into the mixer and change it there. So it's like 3 separate layers that I forget to go back in and change everything out. Is my mic coming in okay now? If someone said it was a little bit low at the beginning, I kind of went a little bit nuts with how much sound was coming in from the game. Lune Scal on line 6 for Mr. Jobs. Meanwhile, Gustav be twerking. Nice. I like it. Good joke. You know, I'm doing okay. Man, this week was fucking crazy, dude. This week was, I feel like this is one of the longest weeks I ever worked. It's not like I did a lot of overtime or anything. There wasn't like a lot of overtime, but oh my god, it was just so crazy. We have this thing called Field Day, where like the kids come out and do a bunch of relay races, and that's held by my department, the electives department. And imagine for the first 3 hours of your shift, you got to be outside doing like physical activity with kids. But then after those 3 hot hours of physical activity are finished, then you got to go inside and then try to get those kids to calm down for like 6 more sets of like 45 minutes or something, like, and still teach like, you know, coherent lessons afterwards. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, I'm pretty physically fit for my age, but man, this really takes it out of you, dude. I was coming home like absolutely beat every night that I had to do that. But yeah, you know, I'm not saying this to complain. I'm just saying how much stuff is like loaded on at the end of the year. You've got so many things. You know, I think a lot of people imagine the job of a teacher is the same every day, but as the year sort of continues, it kind of gradually builds up into more and more and more and more and more work. And this is for every teacher. I'm not saying like my school really works just like, No, no, this is like every school, every teacher. This is like a common thing. Um, you've got like I think people just kind of think that like we make a set of lessons for the day, and that's it. We teach those lessons day over, but lessons is like layer one. Like that's like the first layer. After that, you've got report cards, you got progress reports, you've got honor roll. You've got to write your honor roll listing. Then you've got to make all the prints for honor roll and get them ready for certificates. Then you have how many? Three separate graduations. You've got kindergarten, you've got fifth grade, and you've got eighth grade. Why do we have fifth grade graduation? I don't know. That's something America does now. They didn't do that back when I was in the fifth grade. On top of that, you've got end of the year field trips. You've got grad venture, which is kids going to a theme park, which I mean, like they totally deserve. All these things are deserved. I want to honor the kids. I want to say congratulations, good job, enjoy your trip, way to go with these honor roll awards. I'm not saying this to complain about any of it. I'm just trying to show you what is added on top of all the stuff we already do. Um, I mean, I'm just touching like the first couple of layers. There's so much more going on. Um, you've got conferences still to do. You've got parents you still need to contact for kids who are like, not doing great in your class. You've got behavioral problems going on in which you have to write referral sheets, write down what has happened, write down, the witness statements, write how you contacted the parent, what you did to contact the parent. And let me tell you, I love my kids, I love my students, I love my scholars, but their behavior get a little bit bad when they're getting close to that end of the year. I feel like it's like some part of them's like, what do I got left to lose? Not gonna suspend me. There's no more days of school left. And like I get it, man. Like we're all, the kids are excited school's almost finished, and as a teacher, I understand that feeling because I'm also excited that school's about to finish. But oh my God, does so much extra stuff load up at the end there. You've got so much more going on. I mean, I still have like a bunch more to do. I still got, when I go back, I've got the day I come back in, um, I have to draw a giant decoration for the kindergarten um, graduation party. And I love it. Dude, I'm so happy I get to draw. Like, dude, I'm going into work and the first thing I've got to do in the morning is draw. Dude, awesome. Like, please understand, I'm thanking my lucky stars. Like, um, I'm so lucky that that's what I'm doing. But there's a lot. There's a lot. There's like doing that, and then I also need to craft a game that kids can play for the end of the year party. Not only that, I need to craft an arts and crafts station that they can do for the end of the year party. And then on top of that, I have to draw on a giant roll of paper a giant coloring sheet that they can do for the end of the year party. But I'm also in charge of my entire department, making sure each of the other people in my department have those other three things that I just mentioned ready for their area of the end of the year party. So it's like so much more on top of teaching that we do as teachers. And guess what? Florida is the lowest paid in all of America. You know, actually, I mean, I get paid pretty well. I'm pretty happy with what I get paid. Compared to Japan, I still get paid like quadruple what I used to get paid in Japan. Japan pays so badly now. It's insane. People always talk about how important this job is. And it is. It is an important job. And I love this job. I absolutely do. But I also wonder where people's priority as far as income and importance are concerned. You seem like you're a good teacher. You got some passion for it. Even just talking about it, my teachers just put something up for us to copy and piece down. Nah, yeah, I could never do that. I could never do that. Like, yeah, nah, could never do that. I love art. I'm so lucky. Like my friend who's the music teacher at the school and I today were talking about like, sometimes we complain like at the end of the year when it gets this busy, but we always take a moment to realize how fortunate we are to be working in our passion. Like, no matter how busy or how difficult it goes, it it's like the best way to work is you're working absolutely immersed in your passion. Um, if I'm not drawing for the kids, then I'm helping the kids draw, or I'm teaching the kids to draw. It's not always drawing. It's like everything. We have like watercolors. Heck, this year I did, let me see. I wonder if I can show this project. Let me check. You guys will love it. Dude, it's like the best project I think I've ever done. This is like probably the best project I've ever done in any art class ever. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And then I'll have to send it to myself. Give me just a second here. It was a really, really multi-layered project. We started out in advanced illustration and painting by first kind of making our own comics, understanding coloring with different sources of color. We did watercolor, we did acrylic, we did tempera. And then as the year started to come to a close, okay, hold on. Where's the packaging for this dang thing? I not got it. Hold on. Oh, wait. I think I got it. Yeah. All right. Am I connected to my own computer? How could I do this the easiest way? Don't worry, it's worth it. I promise you this is worth it. While you're waiting for me to figure all this stuff out. Okay. Let's switch accounts. Make sure we're back to post. Alright. Give me just a second here. I should have put this in my post and shown you guys in my post. Yeah, there we go. Alright, give me one more second here. I'm going to go back and find all of this. Because it was multi-layered. So we got the 3D printers at the beginning of the year. No, I'm sorry. Near the end of the year. And my first 3 weeks or so of having them was a lot of experimentation because I really didn't understand everything they could do. I had to learn how to calibrate them. I had to learn how to properly get them to. Oh wait, hold on. I feel like it's skipping stuff. I had to learn how rafting works. So much different stuff. Rafting, stabilization. Okay, there we go. There and there. Okay. I think I got everything. Add. Perfect. Send. Okay, I can share it with you guys now. Give me just a second while I bring this up. Okay, where is my... Give me just a second. Because this is something I'm really proud of. One of the projects. I'm proud of everything my kids make. We put a lot of passion into it. But this is by far the most complicated one I've ever done. Man, how do I get this up here? Give me just a second here, guys. Let's see. There we go. All right, and then let's pull this over to here. Oh, no, not the Microsoft Store. I hate when it does that. You try to click on your window and you hit the Microsoft Store. There we go. Okay, we got it now. Okay, now let's go to our Gmail. Then let's switch to unrested. Oh, no, wait. Let's switch to Scott Ackerman. Okay, now I can show you. Now time to shine. Okay. All right, let me add a screen or an image capture, I should say. Image Maybe window capture. Let's do a window capture. Window. All right. There we go. Select. All right. Okay. Put this front and center. So, this was our project. We printed out these blank white 3D prints, and you had to hold on, I'll go through I got a thing I can click. So you had to first design your character by using a front and side profile, design the face, the eyes, ears, mouth. So then you had to design packaging and everything for the toy that you were designing. And you can see here you have to like list all the different stuff, how you're going to advertise it, what the toy symbol is, what the marketing is going to work like, how you're going to create your marketing on your packaging and stuff like that, what you feel like it should be priced as and why you feel like it should be priced as that, justifying it. Like the actual for real uses of art in a career path, not just saying like, guys, conceptually express yourself, which is fine. But I also would like to see my students, these advanced students, these are the kids who go out of their way to take an extra period of their day to join my advanced illustration and painting class, to really see like how they can use these skills to actually create a career path for themselves. And like this went really well. I mean, this was so many layers. You're printing this thing first. It's just totally white. I should have taken a picture of what they look like before they're decorated. Then you've got to go to the next step of drawing the design and everything, profiles and like front, and you've got to like get the colors figured out and everything like that. And then after you've got all this figured out, then you go to the step of actually like painting it like this, like I did. And I do my big policy. This is my number one philosophy as a teacher. You as a teacher need to do the best version of the project you can do, skill-wise, talent-wise, whatever, to show the kids you are going to make do the same project. This was one thing that really pissed me off about art teachers I had in the past. And I'm sorry, past art teachers, but you need to hear this. If you yourself can't do the most advanced version of what you're asking your kids to do, which means you've learned every in and out of how it works, then you shouldn't be the one teaching it. I can't tell you how many life drawing teachers I had, and this is even in college too. I'm not, rooting out my elementary or high school, although I wasn't really very impressed with those teachers either. And they could not illustrate the things they were telling us to do. I had many a time where, as I was doing life drawing, and that's where you have like an actual nude model standing in front of you that you've got to try and anatomically draw perfectly through underdrawings and then expressive forms of, a lot of linear work, the teacher couldn't do it. They'd stand and like walk around the class and be like, good, okay, good. And there'd be certain things, for example, try drawing a person with their chin up like that. It's difficult. It's one of the most difficult forms to draw of the human body, of like someone lifting their head up, and you have to draw underneath the chin, do the foreshortening of the head, and not make it look like, I don't know, they're like an egg on a popsicle stick, right? I remember asking two separate teachers one time, I'm like, how do I do this so that the bone structure is correct and the foreshortening is pushing the head together enough where the angle looks correct? And they took some charcoal, because that's what you use to do some of these sketches, and really quickly tried to start doing it themselves, scratched out like, no. And they couldn't get anything that looked even remotely close or good or anything. And then turned to another student who I knew, his name was also Scott Waddell. Fucking brilliant, absolutely brilliant artist. I mean, this guy today, his job is oil painting portraits of famous people. Like, that's what he does full time. If you ever thought that I was any bit good at art, which I consider myself okay, this guy like absolutely nukes any ability I have. That's how good this guy is. And he showed me how to do it. They had to rely on another student who was far more advanced than them at like the age of like 21. We would have only been like 21. And he showed me how to do it. Whereas like the 46, 50-year-old teacher, you know, my age now, 45, couldn't do what I can do now. And it's just like, why are you teaching it then? If your skill can't do the highest form of what you are trying to teach, you choose the curriculum, right? This isn't forced upon you. If you can't do the most advanced version of what you're trying to teach, then who are you to be the teacher of it? As far as art is concerned, other subjects, whatever, that's fine, you know. But that is my policy. I need to do the best version of whatever I ask my kids to do. Otherwise, I cannot ask them to do that. So, and this is accumulation of everything they learned, right? This is illustration first, underdrawing first, ink drawing over top of that, colored pencil over top of that picture to show us all the colors that's going to be in there. Then on top of that, they have it 3D printed by putting it into a CAD program, or a slicer, I guess you would call it. And after it's printed, they have to replicate that 2D image onto a new 3D canvas by first painting it, adding in details. And I let them be a little bit tricky with how they added in details. Like if they, you know, covered it in acrylic paint first, they could go back in there with like paint pens, or even some of them use like Sharpies and stuff like that. It's okay, right? If you find a workaround and it makes the art look good, use that damn workaround. It's not like math where there is only a select formula for solving a problem. Art is the beauty of a forking path as far as creating your final product. And they were able to do this. They looked amazing. I don't want to go showing off all their art, like what they came up with, because it's kind of like, you know, it's concealed within the school. You usually don't share kids' projects publicly, but man, it was brilliant. They came up with some brilliant ideas. One kid's toy I remember was your sleep paralysis demon. That was what they created, and it looked pretty creepy. They did a good job. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop talking shop and get back to chilling with you guys. Man, my son is like absolutely yelling at his whatever his team is of players in Roblox. He's always like their team leader for whatever game they're playing, and he's like absolutely chewing them out right now. It's funny. It's really funny. He's such a like subdued kid when he's in Japan, like so very like quiet and docile. In America though, he's kind of become like this very strong team leader, and some of the stuff he does with his friends, it's kind of interesting. Hey, Meadow. Meadow, today I left kind of like a thank you in the Mod Squad group for just letting you guys know how much I appreciate you all keeping everything running, and you know, really helping me out with reinvigorating my motivation to run a Discord and just do online streaming in general. So I hope you get to see that. Check it out if you do get a chance. It's the same as fake gurus in that regard. If you teach how to make money, why are you making money by selling courses and not doing what you preach? Dude, Lekos boy, man, totally, you nailed it, dude. I hate that crap, dude. It's like, if this is working so good for you, then just go do that. Why waste your time trying to like tell other people? I make so much money, I want to share it with you. Why? Money doesn't suddenly make you altruistic. Well, Meadow, it's important. It's super important. That, you know, the mods, first of all, get, you know, more than just a thank you, but recognition for the fact that you guys are like the gears of the machine, right? Without you guys, like, a lot of this stuff doesn't happen so well or so easily. I'm already confused as it is when it comes to my technical ability streaming. And Discord, I, I'm just too old. I'm a boomer when it comes to Discord, and if it wasn't for you guys and especially Jonah there adding all kinds of like bots and mods and stuff like that that make it run easier, or you guys just, I don't want to say policing the forum. We're not really a policing type mod group, are we guys? I think we're pretty lenient, but having you guys there is like the first layer of like catching anything going awry and stuff like that. Super important. Um, I see so many people, and the worst is I see it a lot with like the biggest streamers or the biggest YouTubers who they have a lot of people working in the background. And this is like an unpaid job. Honestly, if I was big like a, I don't know, like, I don't know, who's a big streamer? A Pokimane or Asmongold or what's his name, Hassan, those guys. If I was big like that, I would make sure these were all paid. Um, Not just paid, but like, well, first of all, I'd be streaming all day, so this would be like a full time job, and I would be paying it like a full time livable wage job. Um, but how many of these, and like you guys are all volunteering your time to help me with this, and a lot of these big time streamers too, people are doing the same thing for them. They're volunteering their time. And these people have the money to easily, pay a decent wage. I'm not saying like knock your socks off with wealth, but like a decent enough wage. And not only do they not do that, they just are like, hey, thanks for volunteering, real cool. They don't even take time to recognize the fact that a lot of what they do is absolutely helped along in every sense of the way by the people in the background, doing everything in the background. Like there's so many extra things of how videos get out there, how it's seen, the fact that like I'm scrambling for a link to show how to connect to my Discord, and you guys already have it up there faster. Um, I developed a fixation on South Park. Okay. But that and like just the viewership this year, you guys have like really, really, really made it, God, so much nicer. So much nicer to come back to Discord and come back to streaming. That's a good question for you. Hold on, give me a second. I'm like super, when I talk a bunch, I get like really dry. And I'm almost done with the gallon of milk. And when you're almost done with the gallon of milk, I hate making a bunch of cups dirty when you're just going to keep refilling them with the entire rest of the gallon you're going to drink, right? What's the point? So, I have a kind of a strange theory with AI art. And, if there's somebody who's got something to argue against this, I welcome it. I mean, that's fine because I feel like it could really open a very interesting dialogue. But AI art is not perfect. And quite frankly, AI art is really recognizable. I think we can all see AI art and be like, yeah, that model with 6 fingers twisting around each other, that's AI art. It's not anywhere close to perfect yet. And maybe one day, of course, it will be. I mean, we're only looking at the worst it'll ever be right now. The best it'll ever be, we can't possibly imagine. But what we can imagine is a point where maybe AI art becomes extremely popular and often used. But then that begs the question of, is AI art fine art? And I would say no. And I don't think there's ever going to be a shift in that paradigm, right? No one's ever going to be like, AI art is the equivalent to Leonardo da Vinci's masterworks. Like, no one's going to say that. because what is AI art made from? AI is not creating the art from scratch. It is taking resources, it scans the internet or whatever database and smashes all that together, right? So AI art is really just an accumulation of human art put through like a filter of compressing all this stuff together, right? And that's the closest it'll ever be to original art. It'll never actually be original stuff that the AI is making itself. Now, I realize one day we may have what's called, I believe, AGI, and that has the possibility of actually creating its own ideas and then creating its own art from those ideas. That's nowhere close to happening. It probably won't happen in the time that I'm alive, I'd imagine. I imagine that'll probably happen like, I don't know, 50 to 100 years from now when AI can become self-sentient and all that kind of stuff. So we're dismissing that for now. But what will start to become more rare is fine art. And when I say fine art, I mean actual fine art created from scratch, not digital art, which I'm not dismissing digital art, but I am saying that fine arts, those that use actual canvas, maybe acrylic, oils, charcoal, I don't know, Conte crayon, even though I hate Conte crayon, whatever, drawn by human hands, one that you can like physically touch, feel, hold, understand the weight, the depth, and the human skill needed to create such a work. And these will become more popular because they'll become more rare. There will be artists who give up. There will be artists who just go the way of AI art, put in some prompts and get what they want. Mass production wise, that's how AI will function as far as AI art's concerned. But there will still be people who want human made fine art. And there's never going to be a way that.
Someone was detected at your front door.
What? Hold on. Who's at my front door at this time of the night? What time is it? Almost 9 o'clock.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Sorry, I had like someone detected at your front door at 9 o'clock at night, which is not normal. Hold on, I kind of want to go back and check my camera. Because it could be one thing or the other. It could be somebody being an asshole and like cutting through my driveway or my lawn, which not cool. But the other thing is sometimes that's when I find out raccoons are trying to attack my trash, and then I end up having to clean up my goddamn trash the next day. So I do want to just check this real quick. Give me just a second. 8:56. Dude. Why are you doing that, dude? Hold on, I'm pretty sure I think I know who it is. Someone did cut through my lawn. It's my next door neighbor. He's a cool guy. I like him. There's nothing bad about him. But I think he doesn't realize. And like, look, I get it, right? Okay, so I'm on a corner, but my driveway is a curve. So if you want to cut that corner, you can literally use my driveway as like a cut through. And he is my neighbor, so if anyone's allowed to do it, I'm cool with him. You know, we hang out, we paint and draw together, but come on, dude. Don't do that at 9 o'clock at night, dude. You scare the shit out of me. All right, sorry. Let me get everything back in place. I don't know how I ended up moving that. Raccoons have attacked my bins like the last 2 nights, and like it's so annoying. Like, you know who I'm okay with attacking my bins? The super cutie little possums. Possums are so nice with their way that they go about trash. They go in there, they nibble a bit, they fall asleep. Recently, tiny baby possums have been going in there, and they're so cute. They're the cutest. Oh my god. But raccoons are fucking assholes. Dude, like, raccoons, they're big fat assholes who knock over the whole goddamn trash can because of their weight. Possums never really get big enough that'll like knock them over, especially the baby possums who are just tiny little cuties. But goddamn though, and like raccoons will eat shit where you're like, dude, really? Why that? Like, they'll unpack a loaf of bread that's like, if it's like kind of old bread that's gotten like a little bit hard, I'll throw away like the last 3 or 4 pieces, and you expect that they're gonna eat like the chicken bones or like something else left over, and they fucking rip open like an old thing of bread and eat like the last 3 pieces of like moldy ass crusty bread. And you're like, why, dude? That was like at the bottom of the barrel. What was that? Yeah, that Fountain of Youth one. I saw that. What's that supposed to be about? Like actual Fountain of Youth, or is it a metaphor? Who's got some good actors in it? I forget. Wasn't one of the actors from The Office? Or I could be mixing that up in my head. It's been an exhausting week. Gotta take out the garbage right on garbage day. No, dude, I can't, dude. Like, I've got 2 big trash cans in my kitchen, and if I only took it out on garbage day, I think it would be like stacked up to the ceiling, dude. There's no way. I gotta empty my garbage cans like probably 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know what it is. My son and I like, if I unpack something, I always try to throw the packaging out into my garbage right away because that'll take up a lot of space, but somehow we still end up, I don't know, absolutely filling them to the top. Whatever. Anyway, what do I keep hearing beeping? I don't know, I kept hearing something beeping like, anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and say that pretty much was just like a big thank you, how much you guys have made it work so much easier. And I mean, like, I know it seems weird to say it around this time, but you gotta, if you can understand it from my perspective, this feels like the end of the year for me because it's the end of the school year and I go on break for 2 months. Things kind of calm down. Like, I won't have live streams for the next 2 months, and it's not because I don't love doing it with you guys. It's just, I don't get enough time with my family, right? I'm going to see them for only about 2 months, and I want to spend as much time as I can. I'll still be doing the weekly videos, and I'll try to do the member videos, but if you remember last time, I think I missed like 2 or 3 members videos, and then suddenly one day I did like 6 members videos in one day. So I always make it up to you if I miss them. But streams are just kind of like, maybe my wife would be okay. Maybe she'd be like, "Oh, that's fine. You got to talk to your viewers." She's always been really, really supportive of me doing my channel. Even in times where I took like a long time off, she would once in a while ask me. She'd be like, "So you're not gonna make anything anymore?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't know. I think the channel's played out. Like, I think I've said all I can say, and I'm just like not in the mood." And she's like, "All right." And then, she won't be like, "No, you need to get back in there and do it." But when I finally do, like, I get the motivation to do it again. I'd start the channel back up. She'd be like, "See, I knew you wanted to do some more videos. You should keep doing them." So she's always been super supportive of it. I really appreciate that. But you guys too, as the viewers, I mean, that's one thing. My goodness. I kind of understood before, you know, I kind of understood that, like, as I did the videos, I always had the same viewer base every time. And it's about 2,000 people on average is what I get. Like the average 2,000 people per video. It doesn't always hit 2,000 right away. Sometimes this year's been really weird. Um, Hello? What the heck? Okay. Okay, am I back now? I, I must have I must have disconnected something when I got up real fast like that. I did kind of like suddenly push a bunch of stuff out of the way. It looks like I must have pulled this too hard and disconnected like the thing down here. I didn't even realize I did that. How long was I talking? My God. Um, I like I like how you went to no sound to sound on. It's kind of like absolutely reversed. Uh, oh, dude, Deco-chan? Dude, who's taking care of Deco-chan? My best friend, Mr. Howell. And if you wonder why I call him Mr. Howell, it's because that's how I know him at work. And us calling each other Scott and Dylan sounds very strange to us. When every day at work you're like, Mr. Ackerman, Mr. Howell. Um, that's like after work. Like we can't imagine calling each other our first names. That'd be so weird. Mr. Howell, who is like a big time animal lover. I mean, to the point that he's been like a vegan for like 13 years or something. Um, he's always been a massive fan of Deco. Every time he comes over, he always asks me if I have any snacks for Deco, and he takes his time to feed Deco and laugh about how fat Deco is, and you know, Deco really warmed up. He's kind of like some people he takes a really long time to warm up to, and then there's some people like from the first time he meets them, he's like, "You're okay. I can talk to you. You're a friend," and that's how he's been with Mr. Howell from day one. Um, And I did last year. I left him with my parents, who they were totally okay with it, but they're just not cat people. First of all, my dad's allergic, and then my mom, the one time she ever adopted a cat, it like died 7 months later from cat leukemia, and so I think ever since then she's kind of like doesn't want to get close to an animal because she absolutely was like devastated when that cat died. So I think she's, kind of like PTSD from cats. And so I left it with them, and they took very good care. They, gave Deco food, and they, changed his litter box. But I don't think he ever really warmed up to them. And then I don't think they ever felt like, I don't know, maybe they're okay with them. But I felt like it was kind of more of a burden rather than like, oh, I can't wait to have Deco. Whereas Mr. Howe, like as soon as I said like, hey, this year, would you be okay with taking care of Deco instead of my parents? He was like, yes, dude, totally, of course. So that's kind of more the reaction I want to have. He's actually gonna put Deco, like he knows stuff about like all kinds of like animal health stuff and things like that. So he said he has a plan to like put Deco on a diet to kind of help him lose some weight and get more healthy. And I said, okay, well, like, how much do I, let me know what kind of money I need to leave for whatever you're going to buy him and stuff. And he's like, no, 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 I've got a plan and I'm paying for it myself. And I'm like, all right, well, like, leave me a bill or something. But I know no matter how much I beg him to do it, he won't make me pay. He'll never tell me a price or anything. That's just kind of the way how he operates. But to be fair, he taught my kid some extra. He tutored him in English, and to pay him, I gave him like my Switch. And I don't know if he did $300 worth of lessons, but I gave him a whole Switch. So I guess he feels like everything's balanced. But he'll be taking care of Deco. Super good dude, like my best friend at work, man. Super happy I met the guy. Anyway. Oh, Natalie Portman's in it. So I'm guessing like Fountain of Youth is going to be like a really existential type show. I'll have to check it out. Yeah. Yeah, Deco Child definitely going to be real happy at Mr. Howe's house. It's real funny. Whenever Mr. Howe comes over, like just like with me, every time I get home, this guy just meows and meows and meows until I give him snacks or like something special to eat. And like during the week, I try to limit it to one. That's it. I'll only give him one. Otherwise, I really worry about his weight. Like I don't want him to become like, to a point where he's hurting his joints. But during the weekend, I'm a little more lax on it. And like Mr. Howe always come over and be like, "Oh no, I think he's starving." He'll be like, "That's the last meow he can do because he's gonna die from starvation." Anti-Gravity, and it's so good I can't put it down. That's awesome, Malbec. I love when I get a book like that. God, when's the last time I had a book that good? Probably Metamorphosis of the Prime Intellect. That was the last book where like I couldn't stop reading it. Have I read anything? Splatterpunk. Recently, the one called Playground by Aaron. What's his name? Who wrote it? His last name is like, I think, I never know how to pronounce this. Playground by Beauregard. 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 Aaron Beauregard. I've read some of his stuff. And his stuff's pretty good. The only problem I run into, and I guess this is kind of a problem with horror and splatterpunk in general, is endings. Endings are always kind of like, wait, what? That's the end? Okay. Um, it's a crazy book. Yeah, reading books about anti-gravity is a great way to stay grounded. Don't want to feel like my reading habits are just up in the air. Okay. Okay, Malbec, take it easy on the puns. Oh, man. Uh, do I still read Japanese books and manga? I read a lot of manga. Um, Japanese books. I don't think I've read like a light novel or anything like that recently. Um, what's the most recent manga I read these days? Probably. I recently read, I don't know if this counts, but Saya no Uta. It's a visual novel. I'm not saying that's what I read. That doesn't count. That definitely doesn't count. Sorry. But it's one of my favorite visual novels. And it was made into a manga, but in Russia, they made a part two. And I read that. So I guess it's like a Russian version of a Japanese manga adapted from an original Japanese manga in which they decided they loved it so much they wanted to make part two. Like for some reason Russia really loved Saya no Uta. Do I do scary content? Yes, I do. Hold on just a second. You should be able to find it there at Osoroshi Nights. The name of the channel is Osoroshi Nights. I have a bunch coming up soon on Osoroshi Nights. I'm sorry. I've been very lazy. I recently uploaded. Hold on, let me. Sorry, but I gotta do this. Okay. Just doing an update. God, 87 hours. Jesus Christ. Get a life, Scott. Loser. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, scary stuff for Osoroshi Nights. Okay. I'm bringing it up. Just give me a second. What is that? Oh, it's my own stream. Okay. Let me bring this over here. Let me close that. Give me just a second. Great video, Scott. This video was an eye-opener, especially from the mouth of a Japanese person. Oh, that was really nice. They didn't have to say that. Sorry, it was like a really nice comment that a viewer left. I'm kind of really bummed out. I have a video that I really, really like that I made, and it's connected to Osoroshi Nights. It's things that terrified me as a little kid, like childhood trauma. And one of them was this show called Punky Brewster. And I don't know if it's actually like the people who made the show, but I think it was like 5 years after I made the video. How old's the video? I think it's 7 years old. How old? 8 years old. Holy shit. God damn. It does not feel that old. Like 5 years after I made it, someone started like copyright striking like every single shot I put a Punky Brewster in there. Um, whose faith meet in different timelines in the poem. People forget, but water remembers. That's cool, Anne. That sounds like an awesome book. Now that sounds existential. I love existential stuff. Anyway, so 5 years later, someone copyright strikes it, and you can never believe. The problem with this copyright strike system is you can never believe who's copyright striking it. They make up some LLC or some fake company, and they start claiming anything. It's so bad that I've made videos that have the music from iMovies in it. And all the iMovies music is just like free to use music. Like nobody makes money off of it. It's just artists who are like, hey, go ahead, Apple, use my free stuff. And there's been multiple companies who claim it. And of course, when I argue it, when I say like, this music is from iMovies, YouTube checks it out and they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know why they were copy claiming that. And it's like, dude, I don't know why either. Like, can you please have a better system where, like, I lose the monetization, I lose the views. Now they kind of have a system where it puts it in escrow, but you need to check it fast enough to find out that's what they've done. And it just pisses me off because then I had to like edit out the clips. Actually, I wonder if I can ever like get those things back. Now I'm kind of wondering, like when you edit a video. And so I had to search forever to find these video clips. There's still someone's still copyright striking it. Fucking hell, man. Doomer Ziggy. Which part did they collect? Why can't I hear the music from it? Whatever. YouTube. That's weird. 2 months ago, someone clipped from this show. I don't know. It's always kind of weird. And so they copyright struck the sections that had Punky Brewster in it that I took forever to find these clips. And I worked really hard on this video. I edited the hell out of this. One of my most well put together videos. And they decided every single clip that had Punky Brewster in it they were going to take. And I don't know why. It's a show that hasn't been aired in ages. I don't know. And so I guess it's still copyright struck. I'm going to try and argue it again. Punky Brewster. It's such shit, dude. And it's like, it's a small, like it might be maybe 2 minutes worth of the show. And they get to claim the whole thing. Meanwhile, I made like a 24-minute and 52-second video that talks about more than just Punky Brewster. It talks about like Pee-wee's Playhouse, what else? The Duracell people. And it's just like stuff that like creeped me out as a little kid. And just me sharing that, they decide they could claim the whole video. It's so ridiculous. I don't get it. It's so unfair. I hate it. No. I was just gonna see. Now I guess you can't undo. Revert to original. Oh, maybe I can get it back to normal. If it reverts back to original, man, maybe we can watch it. That'll be awesome. Yeah, because like I tried to clip it. I kept going in there and clip and clip and clip. Hey, Omega Katana. Thank you for dropping by. Um, but it's just infuriating. Like I worked so hard on that video, and I'm not. It just says claim it. That right now, that's all I can see. That's all it says for like who decided that they were going to copyright strike it. And most of the times, you find out like it's not actually people who own it. It's just people who make claims. Like I think the way that they make money is they just claim so many videos that not everybody can keep up with it. And if they claim enough, maybe you're only getting like, 5 cents here, 10 cents there. They just claim enough to just make profit off of other stuff people are making, and they've never made a fucking video in their life. And that's all they're doing. They're just claiming other people's videos and making, whatever few bucks they make. And if you just claimed like let's say every day you went out and claimed 1,000 videos on YouTube, a lot of those are going to be argued. You might be down to like, I don't know, like a couple hundred after people fight back, right? I have like some kind of sticker stuck in my hair. Yeah, gross. From school. Some kind of glitter sticker stuck in my hair. I wondered what that was. I just felt like a big bump in there. I'm like, what is that? It's the trials of being an art teacher. But that's how they make a profit. It's the way YouTube does. Its copyright claims are insane. Yeah, it's totally horrible. You're completely right. Like, it is anti-creator. Like, it completely fights the creator and gives all the rights to the false copyright strike person. And one thing I will say that people need to start doing, I've seen a lot of people complain about how they need to give out their personal information whenever they fight a copyright strike. Why do that? Why give them the right information? I'd say like 80% of the time when you get a copyright strike, unless it's like something or someone really well known and up to date, almost all the time it's some shitty little company that's like fake. It's a fake piece of shit company, like an LLC, and they've only created it to make it look like they have a basis for copyright striking your stuff. And if you argue it, they usually can't fight it because they're not going to hire a whole lawyer just to fight like, someone like myself who makes like, maybe I'm lucky if I make $200 for a whole month of videos, right? So they're not going to fight for that. But people complain that they have to put their actual for real information in there. Those companies aren't putting their real information in there. They make up like fake names, fake companies, fake information to get the copyright put against you. Creators need to start fighting back by also lying. Like don't tell them where you live. Don't tell them your real address. Don't tell them your real name. Like, because sometimes these people get harassed afterwards because they fought the company. So the company that was like, fake and malicious decides to be even more malicious, doxes the person who fought the copyright content, and they get harassed. Like, how insane is that? How like inhumane to the actual content creator is that? So my advice is, if you ever get it, put in fake information. I never put my real name or my real address. Are you kidding me? Hell no. If they're really serious about it, they'll take legal action, and then you can send me a legal letter and I'll give you that information if it's actually from a lawyer. But we've even seen stuff like that, and I've had it myself even, where people make up fake lawyer letters and send you a fake cease and desist. I've had that happen even in the past. And when you call that out, like, back search, who is this actual lawyer? And you're like, that's weird. Like, who would this lawyer be? I had one company that treated their employees really horrible in Japan, and I made a video about it. I actually had like pictures and everything about how badly they treated these people and how they would do stuff where they would like put them in apartments where then they wouldn't like pay the rent on the apartment, so the person would get kicked out, but they had still been taking the money from their paycheck to pay for the supposedly pay their rent, and they weren't. And so they were paying them a lower wage and making the reason why because, oh, well, we're renting your apartment for you for like a much cheaper price. But then they were just keeping the money that they weren't paying them, and the person would get kicked out, and they would still expect them to work at the company even though they had lost their, place to live, and the company had been lying to them. Of course, the person wants to quit and find a new job, and they would start to harass them and be like, no, you can't quit, we'll find your next job, and tell them like, you're a horrible worker. And so I exposed the company for this. They're out of business now. They're like a mom and pop shop that was out in Tokyo. I don't remember the name. It was something. It had a horrible name. It was something like Creamy something or other. It was like Creamy Bop Kids Fun or something like that. It was the worst name ever. And I put up a video about how bad they were, and they tried to copyright strike it, even though I used none of their logos or anything like that. The only thing I used, which they don't own because they didn't fucking pay the rent for, was the shit ass apartment they put the teacher in, right? And they try to be like, you can't show our apartments. It's like, it's not yours. You don't own it. You didn't even pay rent on it. Shut the fuck up. And because I exposed how bad they were treating them, they tried to copyright strike the video. So I said, no, I'll fight that. You can say, no, this is not true. It's a false copyright strike. You can return that to YouTube. And then YouTube's like, well, if you're really serious about this and you want to get legal, that you'll fight this in court if you're telling the truth, then what's all your information to start a legal case if it goes that far? I didn't put my real information. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to do that. I don't know this person. I don't know who's working at YouTube, who's looking at my information. So I put all kinds of fake stuff in there. I completely did not take it serious. And guess what happened? Nothing. They even tried to send me a fake lawyer's letter, and I remember back searching the letter. First of all, the thing that caught me off guard right away was just the English was atrocious, which is look, I get it. There's lawyers who do speak English in Japan and would actually send you a cease and desist in English. But most lawyers are professional enough to have it proofread. You know what I mean? Or at least send it through an AI that would scan it and make sure it didn't sound like shit. And it was just okay, so this, first of all, this is a complete English letter. I'm going to send it through and back search the name that's on it, which conspicuously was an actual gaijin name. And for a gaijin to be a lawyer in Japan, I mean, you would have, you're definitely smart, no question about it. And I do actually know somebody who is a lawyer in Japan who is a gaijin, but the amount of hoops and red tape and education you'd have to go through would be so much that you would be charging a ton to be that lawyer, which this tiny little company that was already not able to pay rent for its employees was not hiring. So I was like, yeah, great, yeah, sure. You have an international lawyer hired for a cease and desist on a tiny nobody knows YouTube channel like myself. I doubt it. I back search it. It's fake. It doesn't exist. There's no such lawyer in Japan. And I called him out on this. And I was like, please, please note this. And I looked up, how there's a series of numbers for what the law is. It was law 942.9, creating a false lawyer's letter or something like that. And I sent them that, and they immediately, all communication ceased. And they took back the copyright strikes and everything. So I mean, don't let yourself be bullied. But man, YouTube, why don't you defend the people who make you the most money, the creators, rather than defend the people who actually hinder your money making because videos get taken down, and that's the copyright trolls. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, why aren't they bound by contracts? Yeah, it's exactly. The whole thing's shady. Anyway, I have some stuff coming up for Osoroshi. I think the two main things I'm going to focus on is my family, but also, making my videos for Japan while I'm out there in Japan. But I am going to make some Osoroshi videos. I do feel like one thing I am going to change about Osoroshi Nights, and this may or may not go down very well, who knows. I'm going to step outside of Asia for the first time, and I am going to make some scary videos, but they might not completely be focused on Asia. I know I mostly stuck to like Korea, and sometimes I did some stuff from China, and obviously almost always Japan. But I've had some stuff swimming around in my mind for a while now where I'm like, dude, I need to do this. How's my family doing in Japan? They're doing great, dude. They're doing great. I'm super lucky. Um, I don't know if you guys know, but my son, he had alopecia. He lost like all of his hair. My eldest son, my older one, and this year, for the first time ever, he began taking a drug. I forget what the name of it is. I say a drug. I mean it's medicine, and it let all his hair come back now. And as long as he takes this, and it's not like America where it's $5 billion to get diagnosed or get your medication. As long as he takes this, his hair's just been growing totally fine. He just finished all his testing. Um, he's very happily watching a bunch of anime right now on Netflix. Um, and my wife seems like she's doing really well. She's healthy, she's happy. This year was a lot easier than the first year. There was like a lot of tears between the both of us being away from each other for the first time. Um, but this year, I think we kind of built up a bit of resistance, and we kind of knew like um, it's a good reset when we get to see each other. Um, the time together is like the best, right? Um, no fighting. I mean, not that my wife and I fight all the time or something, but it's just fun. You just enjoy having each other because there's nothing to fight about. Like we both have our own houses, we both have our own money, we both take care of one kid. We're still married, of course, after all these years. It's been so many years. Oh my gosh, and we're both making like a nest egg for each other. It sucks to be away. It sucks missing out on certain aspects of our kids growing up. That's the hardest part. But we're creating a future for them. We're creating a retirement for ourselves in both countries, and when time allows, we're getting to spend as much as we can with each other. And my son only has, I think, 2 more years left of high school, my eldest son, and then he's headed to college. And that's when we finally figure out is my wife going to move here, or am I going to move back to Japan, or what are we going to do? So we'll figure it out then. Well, I guess no, I wouldn't move back to Japan because my other son would have to finish high school too. But once he finishes high school too, and he's already in middle school now, how many years left total? 6 years left for him. And after both of them are off to college, we're gonna just kind of figure out like how will our life work? Where we, well, our dream, we've talked about this for a while. Our dream is that we can live half the year in Japan and half of the year in America, like permanently. And that's the dream we're building. Yeah. Yeah, my eldest son is already in high school. Can you believe it, Omega Katana? Um, Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think for us that is definitely true. Like we really miss each other. Like, I mean, I know this sounds maybe sappy or silly, but like even sometimes when I lived with my wife, every day, when they would go on trips, like sometimes she would take both the kids on a trip. I just couldn't get off school since she kind of like runs her own. She's kind of like her own boss with how her business works these days. But I couldn't take off at the same time, so they'd be gone for like a week. I'd really miss them. Like the first 2 days was kind of like, yeah, house to myself, video games as long as I want. Uh, and then by day 3, I'd be like, when are my wife and kids coming back? Yeah, dude, I know, dude. I know. My kid is already a 14-year-old high school student with only 2 years left because high school is only 3 years in Japan. It's not 4 years like America. And yeah, dude, I I feel like he's still a baby. I feel like I just finished dropping him off at preschool with him on the bike. How is he 14 years old? about to choose like a career path in college when he goes there. Like, life moves so fast. It moves so fast. Anyway, guys, I love you guys. I can feel my voice wearing down, so I better take myself a break and get some rest. But I had the urge to jump on here and just make sure before the live streams end for like the next 2 months, because don't worry, I'll be back as soon as August hits. I'll be back. Um, I just wanted to know. I wanted to let you all know, like, you're appreciated. I'm thankful for all of you guys on Discord who help out, and I'm just thankful in general, just for like the viewers I have. I'll always say it. I'm not the biggest or the most popular streamer or YouTuber, but I'm the luckiest because of the viewers I have. You guys are the freaking best. You really got me through a rough year, and you got me excited and motivated, not just to make videos again, but to even jump online and do streaming and have Discord again. I owe it all to you guys. You missed the whole thing, but Osaka, thank you to you too. You're a big part of that too. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, love you all. Need to give the voice a rest. I'll probably hop onto Discord after this, and I'll talk to you there. Yeah, there we go. See, look what I'm talking about, and there with the Discord link. I was just about to say it too.